Hi there. Welcome to yet another episode of the Rise and Thrive podcast. I hope you enjoyed the last solo episode that I did. I was very excited about it, and I thank you all for the feedback and the suggestions on the topics and things that we need to cover on the podcast. I'm just enjoying the community and the feedback that you guys bring to me. Let's keep it up. So welcome to yet another episode, and today I'm so excited. I don't know if you guys really know what Bubu means and how we are really trying to promote Bubu. That is Build Uganda by Uganda. So I'm always excited when I meet entrepreneurs that are actually trying to manufacture and do things locally, right? It takes a lot of, for lack of a better word, I'll say balls, but it takes a lot of strength, a lot of commitment to be one of those people. And today I'm really excited to host Rachel. Yeah, I'll let her introduce herself and what she does so you guys can really get and see as the reason as to why I'm excited to have her on the show and the reason why I had to have her on the show after so many weeks of waiting on each other, because I feel that she has a lot to share with us, especially if you're trying to start a business around manufacturing, how she manages, her business, and there's so much we can learn from it. So Rachel, you're welcome to the show. Thank you for coming to the Rise and Thrive podcast. I'll let you introduce yourself. So tell us who you are and what you do, and then we'll take on the conversation.
First of all, thank you so much for the invitation.
You're welcome.
I thank you so much for creating space for people to come and share knowledge, and those are some of the spaces that are lacking. So Thank you so much for the invitation, and I'm glad to be here. I'm called Rachel Tania, a mother of 3, a business lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like she had said earlier, I manufacture reusable baby diapers and sanitary pads.
Yeah.
In Uganda.
Buy Uganda, build Uganda.
Yeah. Buy Uganda, build Uganda.
Mm.
Yes.
So you manufacture reusable diapers?
I do manufacture reusable diapers and sanitary pads. Yeah. Initially, I was only focusing on diapers because of the mothering aspect, until when I did more research and I realized the need for pads is just so huge.
It is. Yeah. It's so huge, and there's a big population, or there's a big gap for girls being able to access affordable sanitary wear. I'm always talking about this, and it's really sad,
It is extremely sad. Like I initially said, I was interested in diapers, babies, focusing on babies only, until I realized that over 5 million girls in Uganda.
Yeah.
And those are the girls just on record. Not everything is accurate.
That's
over 5
true.
million girls lose on school time because they do not have the menstrual kits. They cannot go to school. They have to wait for those days to get done. Other girls, this is even more ridiculous. They choose to get pregnant because they don't have to deal with that challenge for 9 months. But then after 9 months, you're definitely going back to zero.
Yes.
Some other girls, when you just go on ground, leave this information written in papers and when you're on ground.
Yeah.
And you see what happens.
Yes.
You will not believe it. Girls
I know, the other day I saw in Busoga, people are using sand. You guys, imagine sand down there. I just freaked out.
It is so sad, but it is what we are dealing with. And I thought bringing these products will help give a solution.
Yeah.
It's to bring a bit of comfort to a certain percentage of girls.
Yeah.
As maybe other people come on board to join me.
Yeah, it's a big Yeah. So it's so interesting that you mentioned. Of course, me and the people that I speak to and follow me know I'm very passionate about. It always humbles me to know that something that we take for granted, like sanitary wear, is not accessible to everyone. So me, I don't take for granted. And people be like, Brenda, you're too bold. Why do you speak about these things so boldly? But I'm like, it's because it's a reality. It's a reality.
Yeah. One thing that most people don't know about me, people look at you when you've grown.
Yeah.
And they have their judgments they make.
Yeah.
I once lacked pads.
True.
And it's when I started doing the business that I started focusing. I'm like,
yeah,
I was lacked pads when I was going to school in my O level.
Yeah.
I think it must have been like senior 2 second term or something. I was studying in Kabale in Muyebe. And these things you're supposed to bring for checking, toilet paper, what? I didn't have them. And I wasn't feeling so sad that I didn't have them.
Yeah.
It's because at that particular moment, I didn't have them. I didn't have anyone to give them to me. But when I go to school, I was able to get my friend Lynette, and she gave me some of her things, and she gave me pads, and life passed. And then I'm like, I had a friend. Now look at these people in villages.
Yeah, they don't have any other options or alternatives.
They have nothing.
Yeah.
So they have to end up using an old mattress, cut it. And it has also this, how do they call it? Like bad in it. Like you can, I'll afraid to get the word, I'll get it.
The smell?
No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It has kept my mind.
Okay. So just to go back now to what is the brand name Tania's, right?
Tania's.
Yeah. Was this your first business?
No. It wasn't my first business.
Yeah.
I proudly call myself a hustler because I've done many things. I've sold juice in Kampala.
Yeah.
I have done ushering in Kampala. I've sold clothes.
My fellow hustler.
I've sold clothes.
Yeah.
There's a time I even used to enter parliament with some bougie big bag full of dresses to sell to those ladies there. So it wasn't my first business.
Yeah.
I used to promote other people's business, but I realized it's a time when you need to build your own brand, patiently and promote it. And God always does wonders.
Yeah. So because you started off with the diapers. So when did you decide and say, because it's not something any normal person would think about and say, hey, wait a minute, I can manufacture diapers. How did you zero down to this one thing, or what motivated you to start this particular business? Yes. So
during lockdown, I had my 2 babies.
Oh wow, you were busy.
Yeah.
But they were twins, or you had
people very productive. So I had my 2 babies.
Yeah.
And I realized it was very expensive. I'm like, every time you're paying this amount of money for diapers.
Yeah.
How about those other people out there who cannot afford it? On my side, I'm feeling it's a bit pricey. And during that time on TV, they kept also giving reports of pregnant women, like teenage mothers, 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds, and I'm on TV breastfeeding this little baby, and maybe I have another one, or I had babies. So, and I kept wondering, how are these people managing?
Yeah.
So I tried to do research, and I got to realize most diapers, of course, are shipped in from China.
Yeah.
And I tried my foods. I tried to ship in a first bunch, and I realized, okay, it makes sense, though it needs a lot of marketing.
It was like a cheaper maybe brand or something?
Yeah, it was a cheaper brand. I was also testing
you are testing
the waters. So, and then I brought the brand, the diapers, tried them on my children, the 2 little ones, and I realized, okay, you can save money, so let's promote this. That's how it began.
Yeah.
Initially, my dream, I think life is interesting.
Yeah.
I wanted to be that corporate, successful girl who wears heels and tucks in shirts and is in oil and gas. I went and studied 2 masters in oil and gas.
Oh, wow.
So when COVID had come, I'd already applied in some oil company in Qatar, and I was qualifying as an expatriate.
Yes.
And I'm like, You see me on the flight only. Only to realize pregnant.
Catching
baby
flights.
Baby 2. Stay in Kampala.
It humbled you. The babies humbled you.
The babies handled me, but then they came with they gave me a vision of the kind of person I actually want to be.
True.
And opened up opportunities for me to know when you're passionate about something, you do it effortlessly.
Right.
I'm passionate about bringing this solution to mothers and young girls.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm pursuing now, manufacturer.
Okay. So then you start bringing in the diapers. Did you first what work went around trying to source? Did you have to go? Because lockdown, we're all locked down. Did you have to go? How was that sourcing business? How was that sourcing going?
Okay. First of all, if you want information, you just go on Google. Reusable baby diapers.
Yeah.
How to bring reusable baby diapers in Uganda.
Yeah.
Then you go to understand there are these apps, Alibaba apps,
yeah.
Went to the apps, you try to look at the prices, you total up the cost of shipping to your door, and then like, let me first send $400. They come.
Yes.
Okay, let me try it. So
that's what I was trying
to. That's what I was trying to.
There's a time I wanted to start importing towels.
Yeah.
Right? So I went to Alibaba and I hooked up with a Pakistani guy. And I paid for samples. They were the best towels I've ever used. They came on time, as per our terms, everything. Then I went in for the kill. I never heard back from the guy. Like now, we are going to bring in bulk.
Yeah.
Got alone, sent. That guy, of course, I complained, Alibaba, blah, blah, blah. The most they can do is blacklist him off their website.
Yeah.
And that time we didn't have PayPal. So I think with PayPal, you can easily track or something like that. Yeah, so that was...
Oh, so sorry. It must have been very frustrating.
It was, especially when you borrowed money to go for that big kill. Because I distributed those towels to my friends and family. They were like, this quality is not on the market.
Oh.
So I never hear from the guy. So how was that for you?
I can't imagine or first with your side, I can't imagine how frustrating it is.
Extremely.
When you have to recover that money and pay it back.
Yeah.
In losses. On my side, it was basically that.
Yeah.
I think we have built this trust around internet. And if anyone wants to really thug you in any way, they can.
They can, yeah.
So that's how you're able to just put your Visa card and details on someone. You hope a machine chops off money and hands it over to someone else.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing until when I had to take a trip there.
Yeah. So then you started. So at what point? Because I know that was like after COVID, right? So what are some of those challenges that you really experienced post-COVID? Especially now that you're going there. So many people, actually just the other day, are speaking to an entrepreneur who brings in things from China. And she just kept telling me, I've been to China once to bring in things. I had a party shop then. And I remember the kind of life we lived for those 10 days. So when someone comes and says in Salira Akoe, you almost want to slap them.
Swollen feet.
Yes, because I remember where we slept, the way we walked. I carried things on my head. So how has that journey been for you?
Rough. I think for every entrepreneur, you never have it easy unless you are a daughter of someone.
Yeah.
Even if you are, you still have it rough. On my other part, it was getting my paperwork in place. In Uganda, you just don't wake up and you're like, I'm manufacturing this, but so I had to get my paperwork in place. I had opened my company in 2016 when I was a baby. I didn't even know what filing returns meant. I knew just open an account to get a checkbook.
Yeah.
Transact. So I needed to organize my books. I needed to get space for manufacturing. That whole process took me like a year. to finally be like, this is where you're going to sit, this is the office, and this is how production is going to happen. It almost took me a year. I realized I cannot afford my own space, so I had to get into a partnership with Uganda Research Institute in Namave. So I'm like, okay, production is sorted. I need to get fabrics, and they are not any fabrics. Brenda, these fabrics are not even in Uganda.
Yeah, because I imagine they have to
Not
be
even in
cottony.
Nairobi.
They have to be very specific, right?
Very specific kind of fabrics you use for these products. And I had to take a trip to China to get suppliers to put a face onto someone.
Yeah.
I took a trip to China, got different fabrics, got different things, and then came here, had to get my team of ladies in place for women who are from within the place. That's how my journey has been really.
Yeah. So in all this, how are you financing the business? Because most times people fear to start because they are thinking about, and in the last episode that I did, I was speaking about the different finance options. Okay. Of course, people use their savings. You can get a loan like I did, or it backfires or not. You can get money from your family and friends. You know, there are different ways. So was it very easy? Because then it was COVID. You had to stay put. You're not working, or had the ones you were importing started making some good sales for you?
Brenda, like the sales really.
Yeah.
First of all, I had been gifted a very, very bougie nice car.
Yeah.
Which I knew in my brokenness I want to be able to maintain.
To manage, yes.
So I sold it off. Got a very slightly manageable car.
Yeah.
And then got the money and started the business. It doesn't make sense to live a very bougie lifestyle you cannot maintain.
Yeah.
I was like, it would get a small issue, 700K. I'm like, what? I'm like,
yes.
No, what? I really don't have this money. So I sold off the car. And then and helped me run the diapers business, and now I needed to scale up big. Now I have this huge machinery going on and opportunity for production and the big numbers for clients. So I had to get an overdraft from the bank.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to work along with. Because those are some of the safe options. If you have something that is there, that is a liability,
you can as well do away with it.
And boost it. Even land. You can have some land, it's seated there, but you're doing nothing. You're just finding pride in, I have a piece of land somewhere. Sell it off, build yourself so that you're able to afford more and more plots of that kind of land.
Yeah.
So also engage banks and see how you can get support from these banks than relying on maybe money lenders, because then if you're in business and you borrow money from a money lender, you won't sleep.
You'll not sleep.
You won't sleep. So rather use other financial institutions available.
So and I'll just take you back to the partnership with Yuri. It's just that many people may not know that this is even something that's available. Right?
Brenda.
You have to arrange. So what is it like? What does one have to do? Say if I'm an agro processor and I want to start making juice or whatever, how is the process like, briefly, without telling us too much? Yeah.
Briefly, you take a walk in the office. Take a walk in that office and you tell them what you do, what your dream is, what you need to achieve, and they will direct you. They tell you, okay, under textile, you can be like in Namavio, this branch, food, you can be in this other branch. They are always there to help. Brenda, one challenge we have, I think, is lack of information. But these things are there. And I go to Namave every day, and I've seen other such hubs opening.
Yeah.
There is even one right next to Yuri. They haven't launched it, where you can go and do anything you want to do. You just have to enter an office. There's no way out. There's no shortcut. You're not going to call. It's not Gamba.
Yeah.
It's enter, tell them what you want to do, and they will advise you if they can take you up, or if there is somewhere else they can
refer you.
Yeah.
So what kind of support, other than hosting you, of course, what other support do they give to you as a business that is just budding?
I think one of the best decisions I've ever made was to partner with Yuri, because when you're manufacturing with your team, there are these visitors that keep coming. They can be like from UN, from EU. Sometimes you don't know where they're coming from, and they take your number, and the next thing they are calling you for business. Yuri has very many opportunities for funding, because it's almost like that center for funding young entrepreneurs. So you wake up and get an email, oh, we have a conference in this country. Can you showcase your product?
Okay.
Countries you would never have gone to by yourself.
Yeah.
So it exposes you and it helps you grow as a young entrepreneur until you're able to be independent.
Yeah. So just the funding, but also market access, right?
Yeah, market access, like, these events that happen in Cololaship or anywhere that there's, I think they partner with PSF here, I don't know.
Yeah.
You find like you have a free store.
Because
you're
exhibition,
a baby of Yuri.
Goods, yes.
Yeah, you exhibit your goods, and then if there are these other monies that are coming through there, they are trying to push you. Of course, they also keep you in check when it comes to your bookkeeping. Yes. Because everything that gets out of Yuri is recorded.
It's recorded, yeah.
When it comes to the standards of the product.
That's what I was going to say. Do they help with that as well?
Yeah. We have the labs there.
Okay.
They help you. There's nothing that can exit the gates of Yuri when it's not up to the standard. They can't allow.
Yeah.
They can't allow.
Yeah.
So they help you panobit you, so that by the time you're stepping out, you're really independent and ready for the streets.
Yeah. And we know the streets are not easy, right?
Yes,
you just can't start. So I think that's a very important thing, and for me, this right here validates kind of why I created this space, because there's information, but as small businesses or hustlers trying to get their way into the business world, sometimes you don't even know where this information is.
That's true.
Because Yuri is, now that you mention it, I'm thinking that's a very important partnership that any business out there, if you want to start do they focus on particular businesses? Maybe, I don't know. But
I think.
Yeah, I think you can do your research and find out.
Because there's even a guy who was making radios. I'm like, radio in Uganda?
Radio in Uganda. From scratch.
Japan? From scratch. There are very intelligent Ugandans out there. Only that people don't know them.
They don't know, yeah. So you guys, if you're out there, just walk to Yuri, like she said. Walk in there and get the support that you need. And thanks for that information. But then I'll want to go back to the brand.
Okay.
So before you said you were importing, then now you are manufacturing. At what point what pushed you to say that, you know what, I'm done with importing the diapers, I'm going to make my own diapers?
First of all, we have these people that are like our heroes in business in Uganda.
Yeah.
You look at Mama Mbire, everyone's like Mama Mbire. You look at Movit.
Movit, yes. I think Movit is,
has a line amazing. Of a million products.
Yeah.
And it is his brand. Look at Ham. He's into property. And he could have used a certain name, to build his brand, but he chose to do Ham. So I was like, I think I can also create my own brand.
Yeah. A
brand that will grow global. And that's how I started Tania's.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to call it Naijuka. I'll call it Rachel. I was like, let me call it
Naijuka
Tania's.
Is a mouthful.
So much. Tania. So that's how the brand came up.
And then what pushed you to stop importing? Because also some people do import and then they just package and rebrand. But now for you, you've decided you're going to do the actual manufacturing here.
sometimes when you have everything the easy way, you never get to understand the detail of it. Like I'd said, I wanted to be my own brand, so it had to be original. Very original. It is sad that I came for this podcast without my product. I would have showed you.
Yes.
I would have showed you, like my prints on the baby diapers. All of them have my name embedded in it. Yet before, I would just bring prints when they're just there. But now all my prints have my names, initials embedded in it. And I'm hoping that maybe one day you land on that, Tania, somewhere in Zambia, in Congo, in Rwanda. I'm trying to build my brand.
To build that brand.
Way. And then shipping in, of course, wasn't original. It wouldn't make the product original. And I wanted to have the originality of it. So that's how I stopped shipping in and started doing the manufacturing myself.
Okay. And you had mentioned that, under URI, there are all these exhibitions that you go for and things like that. There's an argument that most of these exhibitions do not actually yield what they are supposed to do or to yield. Like they don't have that original. Because I remember back in the day when the trade show had just started. Like it was such a big deal. I remember it was like proggy for us in my home to go look at things, buy things. In the evening we would chill with the parents and things like that. But is that still happening with these exhibitions? From your experience, when you go, is there value?
I think there is value. Any day anyone can turn their eye and see a product. Anywhere there is value for it. Because you will never know who that person is. If they, like on my side, most of my clients are NGOs. You don't know if they work for an NGO. You don't know if it's a politician or whatever. So as long as anyone can see your brand anywhere, I think that's a plus. I don't understand the nitty-gritties of how they come up to that. But I think it's good to put your product out there. There's a time I was showcasing when I used to bring in branded diapers. I was showcasing somewhere in Kamocha on some women's thing, and a white lady came and she was like, she opened and she was like, are these made from Uganda? I said, no, they don't made it from. She's like, no, if they're made from Uganda, I was going to get like 100 pieces for some home that I support. I was like, what? Okay, couldn't have lied, but some people want to attach, they want original
Ugandan things.
Ugandan-made products. And wherever they find it, I think that's good.
So what I get from you is the fact that as a business person or as an entrepreneur with a product or service, any opportunity to put your business out there, you should. Because, people keep saying that, these exhibitions, it's always the same thing, the same people, people don't come to them anymore. But I mean, any opportunity, right? As a business, you should always take it. So staying on the same line of thought, how then do you market your diapers? Who is I know you're targeting the underprivileged women, but how do you get it to them? Who would be like who are your clients?
At the moment, I use social media. Marketing, because that's what I can afford.
Social media is actually quite affordable.
My budget. I'm not about to go for billboards. No, I'm not yet that big. And then most of my clients have found me on social media. And most of my clients are NGOs, politicians, churches, Rotary, individuals who want to give back to communities through like charity. Those are my clients at the moment.
Okay, and just to take you a step back, because I know we've started off the story with the diapers, but then I know along the way you bring on the pads, right? Was that when you had started manufacturing, or was that at the phase when you were still importing?
That's a phase when I'd started the whole paperwork of manufacturing diapers, and I knew what I needed for diapers. So I go on ground. Actually, I went to Uganda.
Yeah.
I go into Uganda to first talk to the mothers, train them about diapers with my team. And then I was shocked
Yeah.
that they were like, why have you bought diapers? We need pads.
We need pads, yeah.
We need pads. And then when we were driving back, I remember that evening telling my baby brother that I think I'm now going into pads as
Into
well.
pads, yeah.
So like, let me start this at the same time. Manufacture diapers, manufacture pads, and
yeah.
push those two products because the need was actually there.
So sometimes the business speaks to you.
The business
what you
speaks
need
to
to do speaks to your growth.
You think you're going to deal in only men's shoes,
Yes.
but then you realize every man that comes in the shop is asking for a shirt or a tie.
Yeah.
Then you somehow find yourself now doing ties, and maybe you find the ties are selling more because later I realize now the pads are selling more than the diapers.
Than the diapers, yes. So as a business person, you have to
Open-minded.
Yes, that's the word. You have to be open-minded and let yourself learn, and for your business to grow based on what the market is demanding.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. And now you are on this journey to building the brand. You spoke about social media, and I know actually it's where I first saw you on social media, and it's because you have a very strong presence on social media, which is a good thing because it's something people learn from, right? Do you do that yourself? In the last episode, I was speaking about different ways in which, like, you can start with what you have. Most people have smartphones, most people have data. So how is the social media marketing aspect? Do you do it yourself, or do you have to hire a social media manager?
Brenda, I'm sorry, I'm moving. I haven't hired anyone yet or a company to run my social media.
Yeah.
I do run it myself. All those posts that you see, the comments and the responses in the DMs, that is I myself doing it. And social media has come to give us opportunity to tap into other markets, not only Uganda. So, and then you also get to learn to engage with clients and how to respond. And the more you engage with clients when you're running your own page, the more you understand how big you can grow. Because I get clients from Rwanda, from Congo, and then we have to discuss how to get my samples to them. So yes, I run my social media. I do editing. When I started running social media, I also learned the other apps you can use to create like posters and videos. So I do it myself.
And that's what I was saying, because there's a time when I was launching the podcast, someone made a comment and said, oh, the guys who are doing your graphics are really, really good. And I'm like, oh, Brenda, hand clap for you, because I'm like, this is Canva. This is basic Canva.
I also do use Canva for all my
Yes, I'm like, this is Canva. So I'm like, really, if your business has just a small part of social media, there are certain apps you really have to have. Yeah.
You learn to those apps, then bookkeeping. You learn there is Soho Books. There's a version which is free. There's an in-paid purchase version.
Yes.
You learn.
You basically learn that you can do all the things yourself, and you end up saving, by the way, because social media managers charge a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
They do charge a lot of money.
The business hasn't grown so much to be able to afford such budgets.
Okay, so now you bring in the Pampers. Pampers are now doing better. Not that the diapers are not, but there's a lot of need for it.
Oh, the pads.
Yeah, sorry, the pads. There's an increased need for pads compared to the diapers.
Yes.
Yeah. So what beyond just the market that you've shared and things like that, is it possible for anyone to access them? like me, can I walk into like a shop, a supermarket? Is that where the business has reached, or are you still with this? Yeah.
I'm still dealing with the NGOs and people walking to the production house. Of course, my desire is to be able to expand to those other outlets, the pharmacies and supermarkets all over the country.
Yeah.
I think initially I told you I underestimated myself when I was starting the business.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how big it was going to be. Only to realize Kativa clients, once they're asking me for things and I'm like, man, I get wait in a product. Because I didn't know how.
Yeah.
I didn't know clients would come and be ordering in thousands of pieces.
Yeah.
Like maybe 150, 150 pieces I would be managing those clients. So at the moment, I'm dealing with one-on-one clients and I'm still overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm hoping definitely to get extra labor so they can be running the production of those other products that should be now getting into supermarkets and pharmacies.
Okay. So one question I always ask guests like you that I know are mothers. I tell you said Wachikuva in COVID back to back. So I'm sure you have like some Irish twins there.
Yes, I do.
As a mother of 3, you have this, and I'm sure you may also be having other hustles. How do you find the balance? What makes it work for you? You know, so that you're able to be present as a mother, you're able to be present as a wife, and then you're also able to grow the Tania brand.
How do we do it? First of all, nothing comes easy.
Yeah.
Nothing comes easy, especially for us women, where you attach even so much emotions. We have the mom guilt sometimes.
Yeah,
which
that's
kills you. You're like, oh God, I'm spending a lot of time in Namamve. I'm not home to be with these kids. But then you shouldn't also be home with hungry kids when you're supposed to put something on the table.
Yeah.
So how do I go through it? Most of the time, I convince my brain that this is the right thing I'm doing. I'm laying a foundation so that in the next 3, 4, 5 years, I don't have to work like this.
Yeah.
So I literally motivate my own self. Otherwise, it is very hard to balance kids. Like every day of my life, I'm awake by 5:40. That's uncomfortable for very many people. 5:40, you drop the kids to school, you have to have crossed Boyogere by 7:15 because of traffic. You have to be in office by 7:25 so that you're able to set pace. You know, it's very hard, but somehow you have to motivate yourself, because if you don't motivate yourself, no one is going to motivate you. Everyone is dealing with their own problems. So that's how I find balance. I motivate myself. I talk to myself. And I'm like, let me do this. Let me be uncomfortable for these years. Then I'm going to be very comfortable.
Very comfortable. Especially with the increase in orders that you're talking about.
Yes. Then I know on my side, deep in my heart, I'm a good mom. I don't need anyone to convince me otherwise. I don't need anyone to validate that for me. Of course, like when you travel and maybe post a picture you've traveled, people in the inbox, who did you leave the kids with? I'm like, oh, in the Amazon.
In the Amazon. I know, I get that question quite a bit. And what people also don't realize is social media can be quite deceptive.
I know.
So people be like, but when do you ever spend time with your kids? Like, at what point? And I'm like, so do you think I'm a monster?
I know.
You think, but I think most times if you have structures in place, you know it. So if you are not around, say for example, you've traveled, would production still happen?
100%. I would get a report. I get daily reports on the numbers.
Yeah.
Then how many people have attended at work. I would definitely, everything would run smoothly.
Yeah.
We have a good team.
Yeah. So beyond the good team, does technology play a role there?
Yes.
Because you said you get some kind of reports and what? Yeah.
Because you've traveled and you can't have this conversation on WhatsApp, so they have to send emails and the records are there.
Yes.
Yeah. So technology has actually played a big part. I think for everyone's business. Who doesn't
Yeah.
need technology? It's 2024.
It's 2024. You would be surprised. Some people think of you it as a very expensive venture and things like that. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay, so as we are coming to the end of our conversation, and it's been nice, speaking to you about some of these things and learning from you. I'm sure you've motivated quite a people out there that are listening and watching. For me, the one that I've really, really liked is the fact that we can like you've mentioned it, and I think someone out there would definitely benefit from that. But also beyond that, as you manage your supply chain, because there's always a challenge, right? How do you make sure, or have you had incidences where you have to import material and you have challenges around that, you have orders? How do you handle that pressure? Because the fact that any business that involves importing raw material, there's always challenges around that.
Now, Brenda, that's quite an interesting question. I hope you're not about to make me cry.
It gets you in your feels.
Oh, it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Ugandans are innovators. Ugandans are very intelligent.
Yeah.
They're innovators. They are creative. But what kills us or kills Ugandans, they are just the lawmakers. And this I confidently say because you'll totally understand it when you start running business.
Yeah.
When you're running a corporate job, you get your salary 30 days after everything is moving on smoothly. You follow a certain line. But when you start running business, you realize, wait a minute, this is actually the tax rates, this amount of tax I pay for this and this, and realize it is extremely hard. Like me who uses fabric, there is a huge tax. Huge tax on fabric, and they gave these rights to one person who brings in fabric, I think not even taxed. The kind of fabric the person brings in does not benefit all of us.
Yes.
Like what I use, they don't have it. So when I'm to bring in fabric to make reusable pads and diapers, I'm taxed a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah.
If I was able to make it way cheaper, it becomes very hard for me to do that. So I think with that challenge, having lawmakers who are not informed, who are not business people to make decisions for business people, that's one of the challenges that I have had. Then when you ship in the fabric, because you're doing shared shipping,
also to cut costs.
Of course. I can't afford an entire container. You realize that, like, the one challenge I had, which almost killed me, like with depression, I shipped in my fabric. Everything was going to the books. I reached Mombasa on time, perfect. Only to realize it had challenges, and URA held it for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, that's the entire month of paying salaries, of not doing any production. You have girls who are relying on me. I felt like I'm betraying my team. It was beyond my control. You cannot wake up and be like, Muje, we are Tania, remove Tania's things and you sort your problems. No, your has to sort the entire container. I was literally operating in losses because now you have to beat the deadline. That means you have to hire extra labor, work 24 hours, pay extra bills for food because you brought extra labor in.
So our system sometimes fails business. Not sometimes. A lot of times it does fail businesses.
It's not something. It does fail businesses because why would I, a Ugandan, feel very frustrated, and yet I can feel an outsider is having a red carpet. Like they are having it very easy. Why would that happen? It's like you love other people than us. Why should I be paying a lot of tax on products which should be for free?
I know. And the products that you're making are health related. If anything, government should be jumping onto this and saying, okay, how can we subsidize for you? Right?
I won't say something about that. I'll tell you to you off camera.
I enjoy our off-camera chats, but yeah, but I mean, you would.
It's
I understand the
uncomfortable.
frustration. You would actually be thinking, okay, why am I not being supported? And it's a feeling across, so many businesses.
I'm just praying, I'm also a person who believes in miracles,
Yeah.
that one day we shall wake up as Ugandans and love ourselves and
Each
love
other.
and choose to defend ourselves and
Yes.
choose our own. I know one day we shall get to a day when business people are involved in making these laws and
policies
these
and all of
policies,
that, yeah.
because you can't just be picked from somewhere and they tell you to make laws again about business when you've never sold even passion fruits. What
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah.
You'll end up doing making us struggle the way we are
Yeah,
already
yeah.
struggling.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that time. I've had a lot of challenges, but it's maybe one of those things that help you learn your business.
You learn, yeah.
Because then if I didn't know the tax percentages, maybe I would never know pricing, then I would never know, Yeah.
And I think it's something that people can learn. Like it's not an easy journey. Being an entrepreneur or a business person is not an easy journey, but you just keep soldiering on.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
You motivate yourself. No one is there to motivate you. Because
Okay.
it's your passion,
Yes.
it's your business. People will realize, some people, you tell them your business and it just doesn't make sense to them because it's not their passion. They've
Yeah.
not done research about it. They don't have statistics and figures on the fingertips. So it's you have to soldier on.
Yeah. Where do you want, or where do you envision Tania's will be in the next 3-5 years? Where do you want this brand to be?
I want this brand to definitely be having like production line, to have more products. I'm not going to talk about them, but
Yeah, it's
some
okay.
are already cooking up.
Yeah.
To be able to find these products everywhere, like in let's start at least with East Africa for the 3 years. Go to Nairobi, Congo, Burundi, you're able to find these products. I'm hoping people embrace it. They embrace the use of reusable products as one way of first saving the environment. Climate change has become a big deal. The nature is now fighting us because we have fought it.
Yeah.
And also be able to save money.
Yeah.
These products where you're saving money than the disposable products.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 more questions. The first is, what advice would you give to maybe a young mother out there, like you were, that has a vision or a passion to do something, but they are still, sitting on the edge of the bench. They are not sure whether they should take it on or not. What kind of advice would you give, drawing from your experience?
Procrastination is a killer of dreams.
I'm such a procrastinator myself, so I feel like I needed...
You're attacked?
I feel so attacked, but I feel like I needed that reminder.
Procrastination is a killer of dreams.
Yeah.
And you will never know how strong you are. You never know how brilliant and heavy your idea is unless you wake up and start.
Yeah.
There's no shortcut.
You have to start.
You just have to start.
Yeah.
Then along the way you will learn. You figure it out. When you're scared, maybe God will bring an opportunity for a grant for you. The grant won't find you at that bench.
Yeah.
Like it has to find you somewhere. It's an address
yeah.
and something going on. So please don't allow procrastination to kill your dreams.
Start. Yeah. So we just have to start. Like it took me 4 years to start the podcast, but that's a story for another day. You just have to start. So finally, your worst and best client experience.
Wow. Let me start with my worst.
Okay.
My worst, a client called.
Yeah.
She was ordering like 3 pieces of diapers.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, after having the border guy deliver them, she was like, bino bifaanana mami muchiga, my Uganda is horrible. She was like,
Trust
these
me,
ones look...
actually, mine is worse.
She's like, these things look like for downtown. I don't know if I'm too attached to my products.
Yeah.
I felt so offended.
Yes.
I'm like, there's a difference. I've done research. I know the ones of downtown. I've ever even bought to compare. They're even 15K. Like, I should have met her face to face and tell her, no, there's a difference. The absorbency of mine is totally different from the absorbency of Chikubo. This is customized fabric. They're not the same. And I didn't get the payment.
Oh, she refused to pay?
Yeah, she refused to pay. And
dear.
She didn't pay then. And the best experience, the NGOs. There is an NGO which made a very big order, and the CEO is a lady. So, and when I got frustrated by the shipping agency, I sent them an email. I told them, we need a meeting. I'm unable to deliver on time.
Yeah.
And I'm a perfectionist. So you can imagine how that was killing me already, that I'm failing to deliver on time because of consignment. And I said, okay, it's okay. How much time do you think you need for it to be cleared? I'm like, I'll need an extra 1 week. Oh, it is okay. We can give you 1 week. Are there people at that kind?
Who are you?
And it was a very big order. They weren't mad at me. I even delivered way before the time I'd given them.
Yeah.
But it was so kind. I was like, one day, if I do well for myself, I should also give them some products to deliver to as their outreach.
As part of their outreach.
Yeah.
So they were patient and
extremely
kind.
Patient and kind. I was like, maybe these people have run businesses before. They know that struggle.
I mean, it takes a business person to understand some struggles. And if you've imported things, you clearly know it's never that clean and easy. It's never straightforward.
I sent, like when I clicked on send, T-ers started rolling.
I know.
You will give your deposit. You promise you're delivering at this time, and now you're delivering. And then she was very calm.
She hit you with kindness.
I was like, may God bless this woman. They're from Strome Foundation. They were so kind to me.
Okay, that's so beautiful. I forgot to ask one thing, and this is just tardiness on my side. So the disposable diapers, I forgot to ask, how do they work? You know, some people do not reusable. Sorry, how does it work? Some people have never. People grew up in pamper world. They don't even know how that works.
Okay, it's cloth, cotton, polyester. You use, wash, and use again. So you save money. You don't have to throw it away and mine can run up to 2 years.
Yeah, one diaper for 2 years.
You can run, and then it's also very adjustable. You can make it small to fit a newborn up to a 2-year-old.
And then it absorbs like the pee, the poo.
Yes, absorbs everything. You just, when the baby, of course, soils it, you throw it away and have it soaked and washed. Our parents used nappies.
They use nappies. I was about to ask, is it like the nappies? The white
nappies had safety pins. They were not safe for you.
And they had to be white. I remember my mom used to tell us how they were judged. Like a woman had to have white, no matter the color of whatever your child has done on those nappies.
Now these are the bougie ones.
Yeah.
The bougie nappies with eyelets and prints and you wear and your kid looks smart.
So you just soak, wash, and then you keep using it. It has a 2-year life.
Yeah, life.
And the pads same?
The same.
Yeah.
The same, because we use the same fabric.
Yeah.
Only that you change the print.
The prints.
The prints to fit the baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Another thing, I never now, you see, the things I was telling you learn from business. I knew I was going to do baby diapers. I ended up now doing pads.
Pads, yeah.
In the middle of that, I get orders for elderly diapers and for kids with special needs.
Because you know that is a very, very... And recently, our parliamentarians were taxing diapers.
Yeah, of
not
course.
knowing that they are,
what do you expect from parliamentarians? They're not business people.
The elderly people also, Okay, because that's a very,
You see, so that's you learn from job. It's until you start that you learn how to run. So now I'm into... I had bought fabric for babies, pink, baby bears and everything. Now an old person won't be wearing
So now you
Tom
have to
and Jerry.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yes. So I have to get,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the print for
Yes,
the elderly diapers.
that matches
and
the
then the
age
kids with special needs.
with special needs,
Now I
yeah.
have to change my sketching.
Yeah.
Things I was never going to
Because
think
those
about.
ones use a lot of diapers actually. And caretakers struggle because they can't afford the normal. Yeah.
You cannot afford the disposable diapers on market a pack.
Yeah.
If the cheapest is like 35, how many packs do you need in a week?
For an elderly person, that's really a
For
lot.
an elderly person, no, the cheapest is like 57.
Oh, it becomes more expensive.
It's more expensive because I think they charge based on the fabric
that they use.
The cotton.
Because you have to be able to absorb much more.
Yeah.
Okay, we learn every day. So it was lovely chatting with you. We've come to the end of yet another amazing podcast. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you for sharing your knowledge. I'm sure you guys have learned quite a bit. I can say, beyond the partnerships, there's a lot of persistence, following your passion, and most of all, what did you say about procrastination? I won't say it because I feel like I'm attacking myself.
Procrastination is a killer of dreams.
It's a killer of dreams, guys. We need to start everything that we want to do and dream about now. You just need to start and then you figure out everything. Yeah. So thank you so much. And we wish you all the best in all the new product lines that you're trying to add to, to Tania's. And we'll definitely be, sending some clients your way, especially those. So if you're out there and you are the company's PR or corporate social responsibility person, you know where to get reusable diapers and pads that you can give out to various communities that need these things. So we wish you all the best and thank you so much for your time. So yes, it was exciting to have Rachel on the show and we look forward. Remember, you always have a date with me every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Make sure you subscribe, right? And share widely so that every time an episode comes up, when you subscribe, you always get a notification. If you're listening in on the podcast channels, we are always with you every Wednesday at 4 p.m. And feel free to share feedback, interact with me, and let us rise and thrive in all our side hustles. Till the next episode.